So when I was fired the last time from this show, people say to me, were you okay with that? And my answer is, I was happy.
Democrats in the media are now unloading all their nasty attacks on rising Trump White House star and new press secretary, Karoline Leavitt.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
Joy Behar's airport drama, 50 Manular's lawsuit sends The View star into crisis mode. Daytime TV just served up a major scandal. The View's fiery co-host, Joy Behar, is making headlines after an unexpected airport incident. Right. As she faces a jaw-dropping $50 million lawsuit. Was she trying to flee the country, or is there more to the story? The controversy started when Behar made a highly charged remark about newly appointed White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, during a heated debate on The View. The fallout, a legal firestorm that could shake up her entire career. With speculation swirling and new details emerging by the minute, one question remains. Is this the end of Joy Behar's time in the spotlight? Stay tuned, because this saga is only getting started.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Isn't it rich that The View is saying she got the job based on looks when DEI is all about based on looks?
They really don't like this woman. She's a good communicator. And so Joy Behar just offered her analysis on why Leavitt.
In a single offhand remark that would come to haunt her career, Joy Behar cast doubt on Karoline Leavitt's qualifications, suggesting that her rise to the prestigious White House press secretary role was more about looks than merit. What began as a fiery exchange on The View quickly spiraled into a full-scale controversy, with critics slamming Behar for undermining women's professional achievements and fueling outdated stereotypes. But the fallout didn't stop there. That one comment unleashed a media firestorm, one that now threatens to unravel the decades-long career Behar fought so hard to build.
Karoline Leavitt, she's just 27 years old. But boy, was she giving it to the Trump haters in her first White House briefing.
They really don't like this woman. She's a good communicator. And so Joy Behar just offered her analysis on why Leavitt was picked for the...
The backlash was immediate and relentless. Within moments, social media erupted in a firestorm of outrage, with thousands demanding Behar take responsibility for her words. Critics from all corners, journalists, political analysts, and even former colleagues quickly weighed in, condemning her remarks as one of the most reckless missteps of her career. Many accused her of not only undermining Karoline Leavitt's qualifications, but also reinforcing harmful stereotypes that have long plagued women in professional spaces. As the controversy gained momentum, calls for an apology grew deafening, with hashtags trending nationwide and heated debates dominating television panels. Some defended Behar's right to voice her opinion, arguing that her words had been taken out of context. But for many, the damage was already done. Would she issue a public statement to control the fallout, or would this scandal mark the beginning of the end for her time in the spotlight?
Okay, and why are the meltdowns always in cars? Now to the cackling witch herself, Joy Behar from The View, whose jealousy is something to behold. Here is her assessment of Trump's new White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
The ever-empowering feminist, Joy herself, everyone. And this is why, of course, she's on The View and not working for the most powerful man in the world, because Karoline would wipe the floor with you bitter banshees anyway.
For decades, Joy Behar had positioned herself as a champion of women's rights and empowerment, a vocal advocate for equality in the workplace. But with one careless remark, she appeared to undermine the very principles she had long defended. The contradiction was impossible to ignore, and the backlash only intensified. What started as a social media firestorm soon spilled into mainstream media, with primetime news anchors, political pundits, and industry insiders dissecting her words. Heated debates raged on whether Behar had finally crossed an unforgivable line, with some questioning if this was the moment her decades-long career would begin to crumble.
Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything. These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right, ABC.
The backlash didn't stop at social media. Prominent female politicians and activists swiftly condemned Behar, arguing that remarks like hers undermined years of progress for women in leadership. As outrage mounted, the fallout took a serious turn. Major advertisers began pulling their sponsorships from The View, forcing ABC into full-blown crisis mode. At first, Behar attempted to shrug off the controversy, insisting her words had been taken out of context. But she gravely underestimated the public's reaction. Rather than dying down, the outrage only intensified. Petitions demanding her removal from The View gained hundreds of thousands of signatures within days, turning what could have been a passing controversy into a full-scale PR disaster that threatened to dismantle her career. Meanwhile, Karoline Leavitt refused to let it go. Instead of settling for a public apology, she took Behar to court, filing a staggering $50 million defamation lawsuit. What had started as a heated TV debate had now escalated into a high-stakes legal battle, with Behar's future hanging in the balance.
No, it's not. So first of all, and I have had my objections to the job that Karine Jean-Pierre did, but she worked in politics for 21 years, 5 presidential campaigns.
Joy Behar found herself in serious legal jeopardy, facing accusations of deliberately making false and damaging statements to destroy both Karoline Leavitt's professional reputation. Legal experts warned that this could go down as one of the most costly lawsuits in daytime television history. But the financial fallout was just the beginning. The real danger? A level of public humiliation unlike anything she had ever faced. Behind the scenes, ABC executives were in full-blown crisis mode. Emergency meetings were called, with top brass debating whether Behar had become too much of a liability for The View. With public outrage intensifying and advertisers fleeing, tensions reached a breaking point until Behar made a move no one saw coming. As the lawsuit dragged on, insiders claimed she became increasingly paranoid, fearing the downfall of her career and financial ruin. Desperate to escape the looming scandal, Behar allegedly hatched a last-ditch plan: flee the country before the legal system could close in. Reports surfaced that she purchased a one-way ticket to Italy, her ancestral homeland, hoping to disappear before the situation spiraled further out of control. But Montpesterdov federal authorities were already ahead of her. Just as Behar approached her airport gate, agents and law enforcement intercepted her, stopping her in her tracks. Stunned passengers watched in disbelief as she was placed in handcuffs and led away. Within minutes, video footage of the shocking airport arrest began flooding social media, spreading like wildfire and dominating global headlines. Faced with massive public backlash, ABC had no choice but to immediately distance itself from the controversy, leaving Behar's future hanging in the balance.
This young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job. Maybe. But my point is that job would not maybe have been open to her.
No, I understand. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah. ABC drops the hammer. Joy Behar, fired in stunning Hollywood shakeup. Within hours, ABC made it official. Joy Behar was out. The network wasted no time announcing her departure, sending shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. The decision ignited a fierce debate, splitting celebrities, journalists, and political analysts down the middle. Some rallied behind Behar, claiming she was the latest victim of cancel culture, while others insisted she was simply facing the consequences of her own reckless remarks. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, chaos erupted at The View. Producers scrambled to figure out how to move forward without one of daytime television's most iconic voices. With uncertainty looming over the show's future, the race was on to find a replacement who could fill the massive void left by Behar's dramatic exit. Would The View recover from this career-shattering scandal, or was this the beginning of the show's downfall?
It was bizarre, especially coming from Joy Behar, who is as woke as they come and positions herself as a champion of feminism. This online commentator said, disgusting Joy Behar of The View accuses Karoline Leavitt of being hired only because Donald Trump thought she was a 10. Karoline Leavitt actually comes with real job qualifications, unlike Biden's DEI hires, Joyless Behar. This commentator doubled down, saying Karoline Leavitt was only hired by Donald Trump because she's a 10. You know that what it is. Actually, she's quite capable, unlike the last press secretary who was only hired because...
The scandal rocked The View map to its core, raising major questions about the show's survival in the wake of such a massive controversy. With Joy Behar at the center of a growing legal storm, the future of the iconic talk show was suddenly shrouded in uncertainty. As for Behar, her next move is anyone's guess. Can she clear her name and rebuild her tarnished reputation? Or has this marked the end of a storied career that once seemed untouchable? The clock is ticking, and only time will reveal what's next for the embattled star.